What's up, guys? Welcome to the show. A very special edition here in the studio at FloGrappling HQ. Hywel and Chase here to break down and to reveal the groups for this weekend's epic 8-man KASAI Pro 5 tournament. Now, this is the event that we've been waiting for. It seems like months we've been talking about this.
Oh, it's
Chase,
a spicy
right?
one. I'm definitely very excited for what's about to happen in New York this weekend.
It's big. It's really big. It's an 8-man bracket. 2 groups of 4 will fight in a round-robin format, and then, of course, crowning one champion tonight. It's a 205-pound tournament. This is just an absolutely epic, loaded event. You've seen the lineup. You've seen who's confirmed for this show. It's incredible. But, of course, it all breaks down to how the groups look, and we're going to take a look at those in a few minutes. But first, we're actually going to bring in a special guest. We got KASAI Pro President Hollis Gracie on the line. Hey, Hollis, can you hear us?
I hear you guys. How's everything? Hey, hi, Chase.
What's up, man?
So, man, Hollis, you guys have put together an absolutely epic show for this weekend. I mean, this is just it just goes to show that you guys with KASAI, you're just getting bigger and better in every event, right?
Man, it's like every time, and I keep hearing it every time we say, man, this car is bigger than the previous one. This car is bigger than the previous one. And we keep thinking, like, when we're not going to be able to make it, you know, a car bigger than the previous one. But, like, we keep doing it, you know, and I'm really thankful for the team that we have behind us. I think that we keep getting more super fighters. They know that KASAI is where it's at now. They know the prestige of winning, either if it's a match or becoming a KASAI world champion. So they understand now how important that is.
I mean, you've got some huge names on this particular card. You know, obviously ADCC absolute champion Felipe Pena. You've got submission standouts such as Craig Jones. But it wasn't easy, right? You had a lot of changes in the lineup the last couple of weeks. Can you talk to us some of the challenges you had in putting together this card?
Yes, at first it was looking really great. You know, I was able to pull like this card fairly quickly. Everybody wanting to be a part of it. But then, like, you know, the car started to, you know, fall apart little by little. But I was really able to contact the guys and get like some replacements up to par to the ones we lost. And here it is. You know, like, I'm very glad we got like every KASAI, like, you know, we keep bringing it better and better, but we also keep getting, you know, like last minute injuries, which it didn't happen on the first one, and we got really lucky then. But, you know, I'm happy with the outcome. Everybody who's in on the tournament and on the super fights are going to bring it. They're super excited, and we're going to see some hot fights.
So one thing that we really wanted to talk about as well was, of course, you know, being in New York City, the Hammerstein Ballroom, the venue for this particular show. It's literally around the corner from the Renzo Gracie Academy, right there in Midtown. Now, the Renzo Gracie Academy, it's always been known as like a hub, one of those places where visitors from around the world will come and train before the big events. But I think we can both agree, Chase, right, that we were a little surprised by the photo that we saw coming out of the gym yesterday, right?
It was the coolest thing I've seen all year.
It was super cool. It was incredible. So, you know, Buchecha, Felipe Pena on the mat with Romulo Barral, and, of course, training and sharing techniques with John Danaher and Gordon Ryan. So how did that come about?
You know, like, Renzo's an amazing guy, right? And he built like a world-class facility, you know, not only like facility, but the reputation of the fighters. Like, we have amazing team there. And everybody wants to, like you said, it's like a hub. People, when in New York, come by. Everybody's welcome.
Wow. Well, I mean, it was definitely a surprise, and we love to see the photos, and we actually got an extra special vlog coming out later as well to show kind of what went on behind the scenes of that little get together. So very much looking forward to see that.
Absolutely. Hollis, well, when it comes to the 8-man, is there any particular athlete or matchups that you're really excited about, that you're looking forward to?
Can I say all of them?
You can. They're all like pretty good.
No, seriously, because I think every possible matchup brings something interesting, right? I think like what makes KASAI unique is that that will have fighters from all sorts of backgrounds, whether if it's like submission only, guys that are more focused in no gi, some guys that are more IBJJF no gi, some guys are more like ADCC style no gi. And we bring them all together. So I think each fighter has its own qualities and particularities that like it makes every single fight interesting.
Well, we also got the loaded card. We've got the 3 big super fights: Marcos Tinoco, Romulo Barral, Dante Leon versus Edwin Najmi, Fiona Watson versus Maisa Bastos, and then you've also created the opportunity for a lot of the locals to show their stuff as well too.
Yes, we put like a stacked undercard with like locals and all these guys in the undercard. Like they're aiming for the main card, they're aiming for the tournament, they're aiming for, you know, to be like on the among the greats. You know, it's I'm really excited that this, you know, the KASAI is only 2 days away, and it's like a party. I love it. You know, it's one of my favorite time of the month.
Awesome. Well, Hollis, I'm sure you've got a million things to confirm and to deal with right before the event. So, you know, thank you so much for joining us today and talking to us a little bit about the show. We're actually going to break off now and reveal exclusively the groups for the first time. But Hollis, I got to say, thanks so much for joining us today and good luck for this weekend.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. You know, stay tuned. You guys going to love it.
Later, Hollis. Thanks, man.
All right. So the groups now, to be honest, we talked a little bit about the level of the guys that you've got on this show. You know, you have ADCC Absolute Champion, you have submission only specialists, you've got MMA fighters, you've got a little bit of everything, right?
Yeah, I thought Hollis said it great right there. There is a great mix of grappling talent. We have 10th Planet specialists like John Thor Blank, IBJJF style players like Tex is probably a standout there, and of course some ADCC medalists. So, man, it is definitely, maybe Hollis is correct, the best KASAI ever, and I cannot wait for Saturday night to happen.
Well, I suppose it's time to do this, right? The anticipation is building. Let's do it. We're going to take a look at the first group, Group A for KASAI Pro 5, and here it is. I mean, wow. Chase, run us through the names there.
Well, for you who can't read, it's Felipe Pena, Jackson Souza, Aaron Tex Johnson, and Valdir Araujo. You might help me with that last name, but
it's good.
Baby Monster though is his
Baby
nickname.
Monster.
Yeah.
This is how we've been told to call him. So I mean, the name says it all, really. But Felipe Pena, ADCC Absolute Champion, will go on to face Andre Galvao in the ADCC Super Fight in September of this year. We have Jackson Souza. He's a world no-gi medalist. This guy, an absolute phenomenal athlete, a checkmat black belt. Tex Johnson, ADCC Trials winner, winning the ADCC Trials in November of last year, and I believe one of the quickest ever recorded times total, right?
That's
Chase?
correct. Also a no-gi pan champion a few weeks earlier. So Tex has come on strong in late 2018, and we'll be looking to really have a breakout year in 2019. And
the last name of Group A, of course, Valdir Araujo. Now, this is a late confirmation for this group. We've, as Hollis mentioned, there were a number of last-minute injuries that kind of changed things up a bit. And just to explain a little bit who this guy is and why you should be paying attention to him. He's possibly one of the darkest of dark horses, the wildest of wild cards, because this guy, first of all, he's a fight sports black belt. He trains out of Cyborgs Academy down in South Florida, so you know he's tough. Number two, he's a former MMA fighter who I believe went head-to-head with Chris Weidman, the former UFC middleweight champion, right, Chase?
That's right. We got the name in and we started doing a little research, and it turns out he went over 20 minutes with Chris Weidman, who of course went on to go to be the UFC champion at one point. Cyborg has called Baby Monster one of his main training partners, and he's a two-time silver medalist at ADCC Brazilian trials, the last of which occurred just last weekend. So
he's right there, right? So maybe this guy is a little bit, you know, under your radar, but it just goes to show that his credentials, they speak for themselves, and apparently he is super tough. So how he's going to shake things up in this group with, of course, the technician Felipe Pena, with the smooth technique, the incredibly athletic Jackson Souza, just a fantastic competitor, the let's say the all-out berserker Tex Johnson, who loves to snap people's legs. That's a pretty loaded group right there, right?
It is. And don't forget, you know, the beauty of KASAI, and my favorite aspect is they all have to fight one another.
Yeah.
You know, it's a round-robin tournament, and so we'll see all kinds of clashes of styles, and there is a little bit of heat on the line there too. Jackson lost to Felipe in the No-Gi Worlds final at one point, and I believe he also lost to Tex Johnson, so Jackson is definitely want to come on strong in this event.
Absolutely. So moving on to, should we take a look at the second group?
Let's do it.
So here it is. So Group B, we have Craig Jones, Kaynan Duarte, John Thor Blank, and Pedro Marinho. Now, this is a very interesting, intriguing group, one might say, right? But absolutely fascinating for me. So Craig Jones, we know him, of course. He had that incredible breakout at ADCC 2017, showed just what the Australian submission scene is like. Went out there, incredible technician, known for his leg locks, but of course much more versatile than that. This guy's got an incredible game. He's able to finish with all manner of techniques. He's an EBI standout. He's a standout on super fights all over the world. And man, everybody knows that he's a guy to be really, really careful with, right?
100%. And it's kind of funny when you look at this list that Craig Jones could be considered the veteran of the group. Just a year ago, we were calling him the breakout star of ADCC, but now we have the 2018, breakout star, our official FloGrappling Award winner, Kaynan Duarte, has had his black belt for a little while now and is tearing up the scene there. And he had a great showing at Nogi Worlds, won the gold there. And Nogi Pans had a fantastic match with Gordon Ryan in the Absolute. So, of course, cannot sleep on Kaynan. He's just a murderer.
Well, I mean, if you believe what you hear coming out of the Atos camp is that Kaynan really is the next big thing. And just remember that this guy, he only got his black belt last summer. He's been a black belt for less than a year. He's an ADCC veteran too. Don't forget, he actually qualified by winning the Brazilian trials in 2017, went to ADCC later that year and tapped out the ADCC veteran, the notoriously tough Pablo Popovich, in the first round with a guillotine choke.
Well, he's still a teenager at that point.
He was still a teenager. He was like 19 years old. But don't forget that the guillotine is one of Kaynan's main weapons.
There's a tip for you guys in Group B.
Yeah, he did use it to tap out James Popolo in the final Nogi World, so it's no secret what he likes.
Another surging athlete on the list is John Thor Blank, who really came to our attention at ADCC Trials. He's a silver medalist there at the West Coast Trials. Had a really tough match in the final with Josh Hinger, but secured, I think, 3 or 4 submissions on his way to get there. And we're looking at some of his matches in the FloGrappling archives, and man, he just hits submissions from anywhere.
Oh yeah.
He doesn't have any particular target that he fetishizes. He just wants the neck, he wants the arms, the shoulders, and your legs. So keep an eye out for that guy. He's got great wrestling and a wonderful mix of the 10th Planet style. So looking forward to him.
Yeah, fighting out of 10th Planet Bethlehem over there in Philadelphia. And I think it's important to note as well, as Hollis was saying about how the undercard offers athletes the opportunity to kind of like work their way up onto the main card or even into the pro tournaments. That's exactly what happened with John Blank. Now, he is a standout in ADCC trials and various other events, but he is also a KASAI Pro veteran. He was on the undercard a couple of events ago, scored a submission win there. We've seen him in action before, and now we'll see him back mixing it up with a couple of the biggest names in the game. And then the final name, Chase. So this is a complete new one to us, right?
Absolutely. He's a purple belt, and he won the KASAI Challenger back in March. Had a fantastic run there, beat a couple black belts on his route to winning that event. And actually, it's funny that this happened. He's a student of Felipe Pena. So Felipe came up to me at Nogi World, said, hey, I got this purple belt you need to see. He's amazing. And I went and shot a couple of his matches, and here he is coming back around, made his way to the big show at KASAI.
Just goes to show, man, you can't sleep on these purple belts. Whew.
Cannot. Luckily, he will have to have the event of his lifetime to make it to face Felipe Pena. They would both have to make the finals because they're in separate groups. So I don't think we'll see any clash of interest there.
No easy feat. But yeah, really cool as well that, like you said, that he actually won the qualifying event that KASAI holds. They have the 8-man and 7 of them are invited. And of course, they always reserve 1 spot for the qualifying event winner. And we've seen some really good performances from past qualifying winners, right?
Exactly. Mateus Lutez is now a household name in grappling as a brown belt, and that's solely because of winning the KASAI qualifier and his, I think, 2 performances there. He's been
he's been back, a few times. So incredible, really is.
3 times actually.
Let's take a look at the groups side by side, just so we can actually see kind of what they look like. Now, this is great, right? Is there one group that stands out for you as being more difficult than the other, Chase?
I mean, they're both just beastly groups, but I really think
balanced, right?
It's a great balance. One, I would say, is more veteran, more experienced on Felipe Pena's side of things, and then you have the surging newcomers on the other side. So that's pretty fun for me, seeing that kind of dichotomy there.
I like that a lot. I really do. And just remember, of course, that the way that the groups work. So you have the 2 4-man groups. Now everybody in Group A will fight against everybody. It's a round robin. Same goes for Group B. And they earn points based on the method of victory. And of course, the guys with the most points, they go through to face in the final. So the winner of Group A goes up against the winner of Group B. And well, it opens the door, right? Who knows what could happen, because maybe a guy goes out there and he wins a couple of matches, scrapes by in points, but then you have another guy come through and hit a couple of spectacular submissions that could propel him through based on the method of victory. So also incredibly important, there is an overall strategy at play here as well.
Yeah, they reward the finishers at KASAI, which has led to a lot of great matches. And do not forget, it's IBJJF points, but heel hooks and reaping are legal, so it opens the game to anyone, which makes a great clash of styles, I think.
Yeah, it really does. Well, I don't know about you, Chase, but I am super excited for the show this weekend. KASAI Pro 5 goes down April 6th, live or on demand on FloGrappling. Any picks, any predictions?
Ooh, that's tough. That's tough. It's hard to count out the ADCC champ, Felipe Pena, in Group A. I do think he stands a great shot, but I'm really looking forward to seeing Jackson and Tex mix it up. Both those guys are killers. For Group B, I want to see John Thor Blank do it. You know what I mean? You know, just to see a dark horse come in and blow everyone's mind would be really fun. But it's hard to count out Kynan Duarte and Craig Jones. Pedro's got an amazingly tough task in front of him, but if he pulls that off, I'm a fan for life. So we'll see. What about you?
We'll see indeed. Well, it is very, very tough. I think it's very hard to pick against Felipe Pena. You know, he's ADCC absolute champion for a reason, right? Very, very well earned. And I think that's probably about as close to a lock as you can get in either of those groups. But it's not going to be easy. He's going to be having those guys are going to come after him so hard. You can just imagine the intensity with which Jackson Souza and Aaron Tex Johnson are going to be going after Felipe Pena. So he's going to really have to be on top of his game to make it through. And then on the other side, I think that this could be Kynan's time. You know, we've seen him prove time and time again that he's right there, and it's really going to be a test of, you know, we're going to see exactly what he's made of to go up against guys like Craig Jones, who's got incredible leg lock game, to go up against, you know, guys like John Blank, who's an absolute finisher and going to go after him. It's very, very intriguing, but you know, I think smart money maybe says Felipe Pena versus Kynan in the final, but who knows?
Man, that's an insane match if that happens. So
exactly. And the best thing is we get to see all of these matches. So no matter who you want to see in the final, they're pretty much all going to face each other. So guys, I think it's just left to say, go watch it live Saturday night, April 6th on FloGrappling, or on demand pretty much immediately after. You do not want to miss this one.
See you there.